Good morning and welcome back to my backyard snack yard. It's Saturday morning out here and I am going to come out and pick my first June berries of the year. I covered them a few weeks ago now because it's tricky to get under here, because they just get eaten and picked off by our birds who really know that blueberries are the best berries. So let's go and see how they're doing. As you can see, everything's a little bit overgrown here. And this is my big, huge, well, he's quite large now. It's a persimmon that was growing on in this pot, and I think I need to get him into the ground. So he's out here, also because he's covered with some little bugs. So I was going to spray him down with some water and give him more airflow than where he was, and see if the birds come and pick off all the bugs. Sometimes they're very helpful that way. But yes, the Saskatoons or June berries, these berries have so many names, they're so popular, also called service berries, are over here. And I do have 4 different cultivars growing here, but I didn't cover the others in time. Like here's one in this little area, and you can see the berries have all gone, all been picked off by my little birds. So at least they got a snack. There are lots of birds around here. Oh, he flew right past me. And let's see. But this one I did manage to cover. This is my favorite one. It is one that's grown commercially in Canada for the crop, and it is called Smoky, and it produces really quite large berries. The size of the berries is also dependent on whether or not you water them enough, and if they get enough water, and of course sunlight too. And so this year it's been very warm. It's been so nice, and I've tried to come out here more recently and actually give it some water because it was getting really thirsty. And I wanted the berries to plump up a bit. So they are bigger than they could have been, and there are lots of them in there. It's a beautiful hollyhock next to it. So let's just try to get in there and pick some of the berries and also just see them, because it's a bit tricky to see them. Try to open this up a bit. Let me just get to it. So I've removed it, the little netting, and just look at that. Wow, you can actually eat the berries while they're still red. Then they have a bit more of a sharp flavor to them. Tastes a little bit like rose hips. These guys are in the rose family, just like apples and pears are. They're closely related to crab apples, apparently. Oh, but look, there's so many. People say that they remind them of blueberries, and I think that's mainly due to the color and shape of the berries, because I don't find that they taste like blueberries at all. But we'll do a little taste test too. I've got lots of ripe blueberries as well. You can see some of these guys are starting to dry up, so it's definitely time to pick them. We're going to have lots of them. I'm going to make some sourdough waffles for breakfast. It's a weekend delight, so these will go really well with that. And they pick so easily. And the best bit about being out here picking them is you can eat as you go, of course. The thing about them is they have this really amazing flavor. They have layers of flavor. First of all, they taste a bit juicy and a bit like a wild berry, a little bit. I think they have a bit of a rose hip flavor to them. And then when you get into the center of it, there's a nut there, or there's a seed really, which has a sort of almondy, nutty flavor. And it's quite a large seed. Well, it's not like anything you can't bite through, so it's really delicious, and it just adds to that overall flavor experience. Really, really a delicious berry. You can see why they're so popular. Look how beautiful they are too. Okay, I'm going to pick up, and then I'm going to also cover it again, because I think I won't get all of them just now. And I know those birds are looking forward to them. Eventually I will leave it uncovered and the birds can have the leftovers. But I do also feed the birds, just so you don't worry about them. They have bird feeders full of wonderful food just for them in a different part of the garden. The Saskatoons are also known as prairie berries. They're really popular with the indigenous peoples of America. And I believe they used to dry the berries and then mix them with dried meat and make little patties that they could use when they're out traveling and things. That's what I've heard. They're so nutritious, these berries. They are even more so than blueberries, which have been known as super berries. These guys are extra super berries, I guess. They're not all ripening at the same time. I do like that when berries don't all just come in one big flush, because then you can pick them gradually and enjoy them for longer. So I'll soon be covering these guys up again, and then we'll move on to the blueberry bushes. You can pick them when they're red like this, but I find they're more tasty when you leave them to ripen a bit more. So I'm going to leave the rest for a while. These green ones over here are completely different berries, but they're another one that was really popular in the prairie, I guess. And they are called chokeberries. Now they've been renamed as aronias, because I think it sounds a bit better, more marketable, I guess. But they are also really, really full of antioxidants and goodness. They're just not that palatable, like raw. People use them in smoothies, and I'm going to make some kind of, well, I hope I'll be able to make something with them this year. I think when I'm finished with these guys, with the June berries or Saskatoons, then I'll cover these guys up, because last year they also got eaten by the birds. And then I'll probably hopefully make some kind of jam or jelly. They're really high in pectin too, so they should be really good to make into a jelly. That's what I've got for this morning. They were actually a lot bigger. You can see they're not that large now. They were bigger during the first years, but my fingers are all colored. But I think that because maybe they haven't got enough water or something, they're a bit smaller. But they're very tasty. A bit more condensed flavor almost. Now for the blueberries. These ones, I just tend to leave them covered because they're such a difficult thing to cover. And then I just sort of open up the covering and dip in and find the ripe berries and then cover them up. I didn't used to cover them up, but then I wouldn't get any berries at all because the birds would sit there and pick them. But look how big they are. Just enormous. Let me compare them. We get a few more, and then I'll compare them to the Saskatoons. There's a little cluster down there. Look at that. It's so handy how you can just dip in and out and pick the ripe ones off. So here, we can compare them. The difference in color is also noticeable. The blueberries are very big. I mean, the blueberries I have are extra large, to be fair. And I have said it before, but I don't actually know what the cultivar is, because I bought the plants from a supermarket so many years ago now. And they might just have been sold as blueberry, which was not that helpful. I really keep these guys watered because blueberries do not like drying out. And if they start getting too dry, then the berries just stay green. They also really prefer rainwater, because regular tap water, at least ours, which is quite hard water, can really erode all the acidity which is in the potting mix that I plant them in, because they are acid lovers and they need to be in acidic soil. Not sure if you're seeing this. These nets are not covered, are not closed everywhere, so little insects do get inside here, which they like. And I can just sort of go in and out wherever I can to pick the lovely blueberries. As they ripen. Such a lovely way to do it. There are lots of beautiful clusters coming along, rosying up a bit. Look at that size difference though. Next bush is extra large. I don't know if you can see the scale of it, but it's just so big. And there are actually quite a few berries in here once we get started. All those little blue specks. I think I have to cut a hole in this one. It has one big, yeah, I think I do. Because I can't really get in. It's about finding a way in. Let's have a look. Found a way in here. And just pop my hand in here and get at them. Maybe. At least all the low hanging ones I can reach. This little precise spot is really the sunniest one in the garden. It's just amazing how much sun gets here. And it's also where I have my little tomato plants, which are finally getting some flowers. They've been a bit slow this year. I think I was a bit late growing them, to be fair. But now they're starting, and I come out here and shake them all the time. Get them hand pollinated. Tap them, shake them. And of course the door is open here, so the wind can also get to them. That also helps with pollination. But if you're finding that some of your tomatoes are not setting, then it's just a good idea to come out and give them a bit of a hand. Like that. That's all it takes. Just a little greeting in the morning for them. Oh, there's more here. Some of these are yellow submarines, and other ones are cherry tomatoes. They're just smaller ones. I find they grow faster and they fruit faster too, because they're not that big, I guess. And they're so sweet and delicious. The actual bag is not completely closed, so I can just slip in from the bottom up and just work my way up here, like that too. And I guess, you know, it's not completely safe, so birds could get in and out. Occasionally bees get in too, and then I have to help them out again because they get stuck in there, and that's not ideal, so I have to sort of let them out. There's like a fly in there now, as you can see. They're all attracted to the wonderful berries. Who can blame them? The thing is, freshly picked, sun-warmed, homegrown blueberries are just so different from store-bought ones. They're so packed with flavor. And the best thing is that they are completely organic, because I know exactly what I put inside each and every berry. I think I've got most of them now, so I can just close up the net as much as I can, and then we'll be out again this afternoon or maybe even this evening. There'll be more to pick. We tend to pick some in the morning and then some for dessert as well in the evening. It's such a delicious time of year. So I better go inside and make my waffles now for the family. Thank you so much for joining me. If you found this fun and interesting, I'll be having a really wonderful weekend, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.